folks. So I bought some new sunglasses, but it is nighttime, so I can't show them to you. So I recently had a interaction with a Channel 7 journalist, Paul Dowsley, at a protest in Melbourne. Normally I just film what's happening, and there was a citizen journalist there who was quite passionate in talking with him, and fair enough. Asked him a couple of questions with some preamble information, which I thought was all fair. And he asked a brilliant question about a retracted Lancet study, which I was so astonished that the journalist hadn't heard of it that I interjected. So I'm sorry to bullshit, man, for interrupting what you were doing, but with that one I just couldn't help it. Some bats flying over in Melbourne, thousands of them, probably not the same bats from China. So the retraction of this particular Lancet study is a huge deal because the study was used, which I can easily prove, to justify this major shadowy path that we have been on for the last nearly 2 years. And some smart person went through the Freedom of Information, and the TGA had to release what their justification was for leading us on the health path that we found ourselves on. So after this interaction of sorts with Paul, I'm not even sure fake news is an accurate term anymore. Maybe even something worse or something just as bad, but I think it needs a different term. It's like shadow news, cave from the cave or something. I don't know. What's a good term? In the light, in the shadows, in the light, in the shadows. More bats. So when he hadn't heard of this study, the retraction, a major retraction, I was instantly thinking, well, what else doesn't he know? All these other studies, contradictions that contradict the whole health narrative that his network, all the other networks, governments, state and federal, have been pushing since day dot. Anyway, it was an interesting interaction. Bit of evasion tactics going on, perhaps. It was on the fly, so, you know.
When you watch it back, you'll see how you bombarded me
I know.
with information.
I'm not a journalist. I'm sorry.
And then I tried to answer.
I'm sorry.
And
Please, go ahead.
I've fucking forgotten what your question was, mate.
Why do you not have time to present the scientific argument of COVID?
The scientific argument.
Yes. It's not.
We present scientific information all the time.
The science is not
And
set.
we have done for almost 2 years.
So, where did you make any retractions when the Lancet first got their first study wrong that justified lockdowns? Did Channel 7 come out and make any retractions whatsoever?
Well, we don't determine who has lockdowns. If anyone's going to apologise if there's a conflict of information,
You are the fourth.
It's the government. We report what is happening, mate.
You
So if
are
there is a
supposed to
lockdown-
challenge the government, is my point. You're journalists. And I do appreciate you actually.
And I'm happy
Cover
having a
the
chat.
balls,
I'm
come
happy
out.
having a chat to you.
Yeah. I just want to know, like, what's the mechanism of these news agencies? Like, you guys are on $100,000 a year. There's dozens of you. Why is it some blokes like myself?
Be quick there, mate.
Why is it blokes like myself sitting in a room to be first in Lancet studies? You guys are paid for this.
Just because I'm not aware of that single Lancet study
It's
that
not just one study, mate.
I'm trying to talk, mate. Jeez.
So you're not aware of that Lancet study?
I've said to him I'm not.
Okay. That was over are you aware of it now?
Oh, because he told me half an hour ago.
What are you
Okay.
going to do about it?
So you'd never heard it before?
That specific one? No.
It's a big one.
Oh, mate, and there's probably been 1,000 since that contradict it. Or 1,000 since that people will say, oh, it's a big one.
Have you
But
found
now
any?
you got power. What are you going to do
Oh,
about
so
it?
if you
Are
think
gonna
there's-
change it?
What's your
So if you
back
think
on
there
the
I'm all right.
dude?
So if you think there's been 1,000, have you found any?
No, I didn't say I think there's been
But
1,000.
there's probably been 1,000.
Yeah.
So have you found any?
I don't read Lancet.
No, have you found any contradictions in anything?
It's a very broad question. Have
No,
I found any
that's
contradictions in anything?
Yeah, that's what we're talking
I find
about.
the contradictions in
So
what protesters
we're talking
are saying.
about one example that you don't know
We're
of.
walking down the hill.
Do you know of any other examples?
Of
Okay, so why were we talking about the Lancet study?
oh mate, I feel like I'm back in school again.
Yeah, you feel like you're back in school.
The way you're talking.
So what? So the Lancet study. Do you know what it is now?
You've already asked me that. Do you recall my response?
Okay, well, just a question then.
Oh, we're doing two
So-
questions.
So you do. So you
we
do.
haven't met, mate.
Yeah, I'm Sam McClellan.
The courtesy
True,
might
True
be
Arrow.
the courtesy
Yeah.
might be to introduce
Yeah,
oneself.
that's fine.
Sam,
McClellan, True Arrow. Yeah. So have you
is
found?
that a full surname?
Yeah, so,
McClellan, full
what-
arrow.
Oh, okay. So that's
it's
my
Full
that's
Arrow.
my business name. True
yeah.
Arrow. Yeah.
Right.
My Christian name, Sam McClellan. Right. So
Christian name. Gotcha.
yeah.
You're Sam. I'm Paul.
Yeah, so we're doing
Keep
semantics
going.
here.
Keep going.
So the main issue we'll get back to is that we were talking about any contradictions in scientific studies which this gentleman brought up. So we brought up a major one, which was the retracted Lancet study, which caused a whole lot of issues in the first place. And this was over a year ago. Now, you said there's probably been 100 since. You know,
Oh no, I said there might have been.
there might have been 100 since.
No, I said there probably
Have
been
you-
1,000, and
yeah.
it's a turn of phrase.
So we
mate.
know
I don't
what we're-
know. There
so
might
we
have
know
been
what-
one since. I don't
so we know what we're
My
talking
point-
about.
but my point
And
is.
no,
my point
no,
is-
no,
Hang on, I thought you
no,
were
no, no, no. I am asking you a question, the same question I've been asking you since we started, is,
Streaming or recording?
so are you aware, you said that, so you're now avoiding the question?
No, mate, I'm listening
Yeah,
to you.
okay, do you want to, so the,
Can you just kind of
can you just wait for a second?
I'll go into the car, mate. I've got to go. I've got to go back
Yeah.
to the office, believe it or not, and actually watch
Yeah,
all
we'll see
this
if we,
back.
we'll see if we can
Watch
get
all this back.
I'll see if I
and-
can get this question asked before you get out of here.
No, I'm explaining why I'm walking and I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
Because I need to.
If
get back
I
to
can ask you the question, then we
I'm
can.
just saying I need to get back to the office
So-
and watch back 50 minutes plus
Yeah.
of footage.
Well, we could have been really short if we.
Hit me with your question. Go.
Actually answered
Hit
it.
me with the one question. Go for
So
it.
there might have been 100 since the Lancet study. Do you know of any of
You asked me
anyone?
that up there, mate, at
You,
the
you
lights.
didn't answer.
Yes, I did. I said no.
So,
I said I don't read Lancet.
And that's the
Do
problem,
you
mate.
remember I
Yeah,
said that?
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
that.
so I did answer you.
Okay.
Was that your question? Are we done? Have you got any other subsequent
No.
questions?
So then I asked anything outside of Lancet, and you said that's too broad.
Oh, what?
so-
Any other scientific studies have I read? Is that what you're asking?
That are contradictory.
No, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
that's the problem, mate.
That's
You're
it.
the media. You're
No,
just
but my
just
point is I
curious
don't
about
read.
this.
I don't
That
sit at
is
home and
it.
read scientific
You're-
studies.
So you're a
You're
journalist.
basically a mouthpiece for the government then.
Mate,
You haven't challenged it.
yesterday I was at Comic Con, and I was at a stabbing in this. A man who was trying to stab people in the city. I am not immersed in pandemic
So we've had-
news every day.
So we've had a
Do you
year.
understand?
We've had a
We
year and a
all
half.
are, mate.
No, well, you might be.
No,
but-
could go the whole, mate.
So over a
our
year and a
lives
half.
are upside down because of this pandemic.
Last question. So over a year and a half, you haven't read any scientific.
Oh look, maybe
studies.
I have. I don't know, mate. I
don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I click on 1,000 things on Facebook,
Yeah.
and it's all sorts of information from all sorts of sources.
Yeah, but nothing from Lancet. The number one.
I've just said. You
number-
just asked me that, and I said I don't
the
know.
number one peer-reviewed journal in the world.
You just asked
Over
that,
a year and a half.
You just asked that,
And
I
nothing
said,
else.
I said I don't know. I read a lot of information. I don't
Yeah.
always look deep into it to see who the exact.
So
source
over a
is.
year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, 24/7 day.
I've already
Said
got
I
the
don't
answer.
know.
I've already got the
I already
answer.
said I don't
Yeah.
know. Nice to meet you then, Sam.
no
If
worries,
you're,
mate.
if you're trying to hang me out to dry, give it your best shot.
We get paid
Send,
nothing.
send me
That's
all
all
the
we do.
links you like, mate. I'm happy to have a look at anything.
Yeah.
Can I ask you just a couple?
So
one
after
more
a
quick
year and a
one?
half,
No, mate. I've got to go.
year and a half,
What
never looked
percentage
at
do you
a
think of
Lancet
the
study.
protesters?
That's not what I said, Sam. You're misquoting me. The irony of you saying that we misquote, and here you are doing exactly the same thing.
No. So have you read a Lancet study?
Mate, you've asked me that, and you're not listening.
Yeah. So you said no. You said no. You haven't read one. So how am I misquoting that?
My
So
recollection
you've never
was that
read
I'm not
a
sure.
Lancet study. You said no.
Mate, no. Mate, I read a lot of stuff. Do I read deep into it to see what study it is?
But you already
'Cause
said no. I've got it on camera twice.
One study can be contradicted by the next study.
Okay. And so you're aware that the contradictions exist, but you've never found any in a year and a half.
You
That's a great
put
question.
whatever words you want in
Don't-
my mouth.
So
Sam.
you've already said that.
Well, then why do you keep asking?
I'm not. I'm just because you said I misquoted you when I said this guy has never read a Lancet study in a year and a half, which you said no twice. I wasn't
Oh,
asking. I wasn't
to the best
talking
of my
to you,
recollection.
and
To
then
the best of my recollection.
and then you came to me to say that was, I'm misquoting you.
Yeah, because I said, I don't know, mate. I read a stack of information.
So now you're
Do I-
changing it
No,
twice.
no. I stated
changed it
that. I said
twice.
I don't know half the stuff if I've read it and it's been published in Lancet.
Yeah.
Can I just ask
Did you know what Lancet
Maybe.
was?
Oh, it's medical. Hello, boys.
Hello again.
Can I just ask
Hey,
a
mate.
couple quick ones, mate?
7 News.
I think that information is worthy for other people to understand. I think most of people who would end up watching something like this, have read these things. They're very aware of it. And I just couldn't imagine being a really well-paid professional journalist covering this thing from day dot for 21 months and never have bothered to read a scientific study journal paper that has a contradiction, because they are absolutely everywhere and very easy to find, and it takes a night to read a 50-page or so study. It's just turning so many people's lives upside down, and just there's no comprehension or open-mindedness, critical thinking about. He still believes that his network is presenting scientific information. So in conclusion, I understand fake news is biased reporting by purposeful omission, but omission through ignorance, yeah, that's what it is. So fake news or something else?